Whenever we think of great teams, more often than not, we think of their superstars. The highlight spamming, larger-than-life maestros who become the faces of their games.
Is TenZ. He's got the frenzy, and he's got a kill. Man, all up in Moose's face, and he's getting a jumping one as well on the Thief. I said this the first time I called TenZ. This is his world, and we're just living in it.
But usually, what makes a great team truly great is a leader. The voice of reason, the calm during the storm, and the rallying cry to lift those around them.
Why am I so much better than you?
IGLs are organizers, strategists, and selfless conductors who put the team before their own stat lines. Cerebral assassins who typically work in the shadows, but when called upon, aren't afraid to step into the light and lead by example.
He's thinking about round. Jumps saw him. Gets the info. He just has to hit this shot, and he's done it for Heroic. The leader, calling well above his years, clearing corners. Oh, no! You're an animal! Heroic have done it, and I just can't believe it!
Now, of course, every IGL will have their own philosophy and approach to communicating with their own teammates. But one thing all great leaders must have to truly motivate those around them is confidence. The unquestioning belief that their every call is the right one, and that no situation is insurmountable.
It might not matter. Oh, Magisk, he had the help for it, but now he's been taken out and Sip just trying to buy time, flank it around, Blame is hunting him down, and he turns for it. Immediate defuse, he's right there with the kid. Oh my god, I can't believe it, 16 and 12!
But when it comes to taking the reins and inspiring confidence in others, perhaps no IGL approaches leadership quite like Jake Boaster Howlett, Fnatic's charismatic comedic captain. An unorthodox entry-fragger turned shotcaller who hasn't just spent the past year molding his team into one of Valorant's very best, but has done so all while making himself something of a spectacle.
I will be your IGL today. Please step in line for the services of the IGL. I've got a few strats in mind. First of all, we're starting off with the Brimstone on Bind.
Is this the voice? Are we getting the voice, really? Is this trademarked? Are we allowed to show this? He's in. He's been approved of.
I don't know if Vikings are going to show up and bring some thunder and take down Liquid, because lightning is super effective against water types. But who knows? I mean, I don't know what I'm saying.
So how exactly did this spotlight-loving madman harness his natural energy as an entertainer and turn it into a competitive gaming career? What about his background might explain his unusual behavior? And more importantly, how are Boaster's goofy antics helping to fuel Fnatic's success in Valorant?
Look at where Suggest is. He's took down close. Boaster! What?
Okay guys, Dimitri's out for this video, so it falls on my shoulders to tell you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. I can't make you do it because I'm not your IGL, but if I was your IGL, we're Russian B. Alright, so before he clowned his way into the grand finals of Valorant's first major LAN, and prior to becoming a viral sensation in China, what was Fnatic's late-blooming animated IGL up to? Well, if you've seen what he's like in front of a camera, it might not surprise you to hear that growing up in England, Boaster was actually a theater kid, with dreams of becoming a professional performer. And even though these days he's mostly occupied bossing it with Brim Daddy, he's never too busy to put on a show for his fans.
When I look in the mirror, I melt your heart in it too. I got the superstar glow, so ooh, do the boogie like side step right left to my beat. Highlight the moon rock with me, baby.
Creative interests aside, Boaster's been gaming for as long as he can remember. He poured hours into games like World of Warcraft, but eventually his natural hunger for competition led him to League of Legends. But like seemingly every younger brother under the sun, Boaster discovered what he felt was his true calling in 2012 when he was introduced to CSGO.
My brother used to play it a lot, and he wouldn't let me play, but in my spare time I managed to get a couple of hours every day, and I just went from then on really. I was streaming, got noticed, and then voila, I just love competing. I just want to beat people.
By early 2015, Boaster was trying to make a name for himself by competing in smaller rosters in the UK's minor CS scene. But he was struggling to find a spot on any top roster. Why? Because, well, name me a top CS roster from the UK. Go ahead, I'm waiting.
Oh, rude.
Anyway, Boaster spent a good chunk of 2017 competing with Excel Esports. But with most results not going the team's way, he began streaming for them instead. Despite his obvious drive and commitment to the game, Boaster's competitive CS career appeared to be spinning its tires. But in December of that year, he was presented with an opportunity that would change everything.
I'm gonna get these clothes off me!
Hi, I'm Jake, and I just want a trip to Mexico. Welcome to the Hard Rock Hotel ECS Finals. Get your boasties.
Boaster managed to win a competition run by FACEIT that allowed him to attend the ECS Finals in Cancun, Mexico, where he'd be co-hosting the event alongside Machine and Nothing. And I think it's fair to say that he enjoyed his time there.
I just wanna tell you I am. So honey now. Take me into your loving arms. Let's go bring anyone else.
Whether he was interviewing some of the best CS players and casters in the world, Boaster stole the show whenever he found himself in front of the camera. So much so that FACEIT offered him the chance to produce more video content for them going forward. After returning home, Boaster continued his CS grind, and even managed to win a small event alongside Smooya. But before long, he was back in front of the camera at the ECS Season 5 Finals, and then at the London Major later that year. But as Boaster was sitting there, watching some of the greatest Counter-Strike teams in the world battling it out on the game's biggest stage, he was inspired to make a promise to himself.
I'm gonna be pro one day, guys. I'm gonna be pro. I'm gonna sit in a booth, I'm gonna sit on the stage, and I'm gonna play in front of the big audience.
What's up, bitch?
The problem was that even though Boaster was more motivated now than ever to make it as a pro player, he still needed to find a consistent paycheck. And so he took his experience creating content for FACEIT and rejoined Excel. Not as a competitor or streamer, but this time as a vlogger for their League of Legends team.
I thought this vlogging job was a great opportunity, and I just didn't want to say no. Right now I feel like my time can be spent grinding CS, learning how to create better vlogs, learning how to make videos, learning team dynamics, like because I'm behind their team. So it's nice to see, it's quite a cool perspective seeing how in other games teams kind of practice. Slightly different to CSGO actually, so that's quite cool.
But after spending the better part of a year sharpening his skills as a content creator for the org, Boaster's attention shifted in April of 2020 with the arrival of Valorant.
Oh my god.
Even in its beta, Boaster saw the potential in Valorant, and with the game's promise of an eventual esports scene, he decided to leave his role with Excel and fully commit to it, which he recently told Upcomer.
I've got £10,000 to my name. I'm gonna just I've got about 8 months to a year of grinding before all that money runs out, like on rent and whatnot. I'm gonna try and go pro, and yeah, and that's kind of what happened.
Boaster became consumed by Valorant, sharpening his own skills while putting together guides for new players. And while the game was already proving to be a launching pad for content creators, Boaster was determined to go pro, but to do that, he needed a team. So in August 2020, he joined Sage Alt My Nan Football Club, aka Summon FC, a team that, following his arrival, was made up of 2 CS players and 3 former Fortnite players. With most of the roster being young and relatively inexperienced, Boaster found himself as the old man on the roster, despite only being 26. And so, for the first time in his career, he decided to take up the reins as the team's IGL, an endeavor he talked about with PlatChat Valorant.
Yeah, I knew that the boys would have to learn quite a bit. Like they all could shoot, and as long as you get people that can kill, that means they have that kind of like natural ability to feel it out the game. If you got that, then teaching the other stuff is tedious, but it is possible.
Now, during the earliest stages of Valorant's competitive scene, most people's attention was on big organizations like G2 and Team Liquid, teams who had recruited established and adored CS talent looking for a fresh start. But once Riot announced Valorant's first big event, First Strike, Summon saw it as a chance to announce themselves to the scene. And after a grueling qualification process, they punched their ticket to the EU Regional Finals as one of only 8 teams. Once there, Boaster and the boys quickly proved that they shouldn't be slept on.
Summon FC, the barrel shows, that's one. Doma goes back in, he's gonna get the second one. Excellent play from Doma with 14 seconds. Spike on the side, but does this deny it? It does! Mo is doing everything for his side right now, and time is of the essence. Machine is desperate for this, but time
4 seconds left, this is it!
They just need to live, and Machine has no options available. GG, well played. Chances are pretty fair in this one, and Machine's position is gonna be rough. Oh my god, Mo somehow wins that fight? And he's still going!
Headshots.
He's just turreting around on his own!
In the end, Summon may have fallen short in the grand finals, but after outperforming some of the region's most hyped teams, they'd earned the attention of the community, and more importantly, Fnatic, who signed them not long after the event. Now, of course, with the prestige of playing for an esports org like Fnatic comes the pressure of actually having to perform. And after a few less than stellar performances in some qualifiers for Valorant's first ever international LAN, the team brought in Magnum and Durka in a bid to add extra firepower to the lineup, and in Challengers 2, their move paid off.
This, but he's only got one. Oh! Well, that's all he needs. Oh my god. But Durka, he's lost his opponent. Where did he go? Well, there he is, Durka, who eventually takes him down. Hugely in their favor. It is now only Pistols and even Magnum wiping them out with the double kill. That's just beautiful.
Once again, Fnatic fell short in the grand finals, but despite losing to Liquid, they qualified for Iceland as Europe's second seed. After 6 years of grinding to make a name for himself as an esports pro, Boaster had finally made it. Not only was he part of a tier 1 org as a player, but as a leader. And he was going to get the chance to lead his team onto Valorant's biggest stage yet. Fnatic started the event off strong, dumpstering Crew, but as impressive as their performance was on the server, Boaster's behavior turned some heads.
And that ends in the fashion that I would have expected early on from Fnatic, right? And again, you give them an inch, they take a mile, and those are the sorts of rounds that they just look so damn good. Boaster, like I said, Icebox was one that potentially, yes, you could consider it an anomaly in this map pool across these two teams. This is the weirdest winners celebration I've seen. No surprise, Boaster's at the center of it.
We're looking on form. We're looking like first ever performance on stage for some of these lads, and they were hitting gnarly headshots, crisp locks, and yeah, I mean that is why, because we're having fun, and that's why we're gonna win.
Now, unfortunately for Fnatic, their momentum came to a screeching halt when they ran into Sentinels on day 2. But even with their backs against the wall in the dreaded lower bracket, Boaster wasn't going to let one loss get to them.
Are you expecting a doom and gloom scene? I'll give you one. Do you enjoy filming me in my sadness?
And after resetting their composure, Fnatic started to claw their way through the gauntlet that lay before them, and they did it with style.
Take until then. Magnum being a loss is a bit of an issue building, but Mystic bails him out with a stunner. spins around on a dime, gets 3. And now Paddy Pan has to dig deep on this. Now 2 left. Already spotted out 1 earlier. Gets media glimpse on Doma. Yeah, so he knows where the last 2 players are. He could still do work on this one. But how does he stop this? He can't. Durka plucks him out and says, no, that's 4 on the board for Fnatic.
Actually, at this point, I mean, finding Mystic, but right here, I mean, there's nothing to cover off. Nobody's swept through this side of pipes. Nobody's even holding this side of maze. The Boaster are able to line the first 2 up and has a free peek onto the third as well.
Great work there, but the answer comes back in. Mystic out of nowhere, and it's just Paddy Pan. No way did they just do that. Yeah, the spike's planted, but the damage is being done. Boaster swings right back in, doubles on it. That's sick work from Boaster.
Yeah, it is, and it's just that slight adjustment here where they find, again, save round for V1 and I guess a little bit deeper in terms of early round aggression.
Magnum's down, Boaster tries to hit that flank, and just like a knife in the back, he finds Effies and Jammies. Durka, hold on. He's gonna have 1. He's got 2! It could not happen! Boom for Durka!
Fnatic gonna do magic to run the clock down.
Oh, Magnum!
Second!
They've only done it for Fnatic! Sending version 1 home, living through the lower bracket. This is exceptional from Fnatic. And I don't know what celebration it's gonna be now, but I think you can see what this means to them. They make it 1 step further. Is this North America going home on the airplane right now? It does look like it is.
Now, of course, a major part of Fnatic's success was their chemistry and their gameplay. But there's no question that Boaster's bizarre antics and leadership style wasn't just for the cameras. It was serving a greater purpose.
There is something to be said about having someone like Boaster to lighten the mood for the team. These are young players, and we'll say it time and time again. We'll have to constantly go over it because it is a big point. At this point, you do need someone who's going to be that emotional lift.
He's definitely a hype man. He's definitely a good rock to our team. Like, as in, like, if it wasn't for his energy and hype, I don't think we would be here.
I don't know where Boaster gets his energy from. I might need to, like, start eating all the food he eats or something.
You just gotta be crazy, boys. I'm crazy.
Fnatic continued to ride their good vibes all the way through tough matchups against Liquid and New Turn, earning themselves a shot at redemption against Sentinels in the grand finals. And if you think that the increased stakes might give Boaster some serious stage fright, you clearly haven't been paying attention.
They go through to B main now after that long delay. Sentinels trying to remove Fnatic from position, but all they have is position right now. Tens is there now, able to help Dapper as that wall goes down, and this is beautiful. Just enough time bought there by that cage, and now Shazam swings in. Sentinels are looking fantastic, and that's it. Sentinels will win map 1 in overtime, and it will do just that, taking down the diffuser. Zombs has to get these forward kills. The hold, the stick is
oh my god!
It's gonna drop Dapper, and it doesn't look like there's time here for Zombs to win this one. Can't find the spray. It's Boaster all day. Here comes the stick. Shazam trying to dance. It's up to Mystic. He protects Durka, and we're going to another overtime here on map 2. Indeed, Mystic not expecting. Oh! This Fury coming out, and Dapper will take down Durka. Sentinel pick up Bind. They pick up the map of Fnatic. Map 2 goes to Sentinels, and that's a 2-0 start in this best of 5.
Doma's close, they don't know.
Oh my god, he gets flashed!
The team flash! The team flash! Magnum's in the smoke here. 10
oh my god!
Magnum's got no HP. Not like this! Sentinels! They're gonna get the defuse! They've done it! Sentinels are the Masters 2 Reykjavik champions! And they do it flawlessly! They didn't drop a single map!
Stunned. Fnatic.
In the end, Boaster and Fnatic came up short again against Sentinels, but they emerged as heroes for their region.
Overall, I think in terms of our mentality and stuff, we stayed in the game. Like, we never gave up, so we can look back at this on this loss and actually, like, be proud. You know, be proud of yourself, boys, because it's our first LAN, you know? And there's many more to come, and we'll get our revenge.
Even though there had been no crowd present at Masters, it didn't change the fact that Boaster had kept the promise he'd made to himself back in 2018. And to him, that felt like a victory.
I'm 26, and, like, I never thought I would be pro, like, when I stopped playing Counter-Strike. So to be on the stage now and be pro, I want to really just like enjoy the moment of when I imagined it when I was like 18 trying to be pro, you know. I could always visualize myself up on a stage and just being like, if I can get on a stage, I can like be an idiot and perform and stuff. And that's kind of like how I went into it, and this is my opportunity. So I'm just gonna enjoy the moment, live with no regrets of this event, and just be positive and make sure that my teammates, this is some of their first ever LAN events, you know, and I just want to make sure that when looking back, it's a like positive memory for them, and that's kind of how I feel.
While Boaster's breakout performance may not have yielded a trophy for his team, there's no denying that it won him the hearts of Valorant fans. And since the event, they now flock to his daily stream by the thousands to see him clapping kids.
One on B site.
One B.
I'm coming.
Shit, it's coming.
One enemy remaining.
Bitch.
30 seconds left.
Putting on trademark performances for his international followers.
There we go.
Or, you know, just generally acting like a maniac.
Fast here. 1, 2. One more there.
Oh my goodness, what is going on with me? Am I on steroids of this game? Look at me, I'm like, you want to come to my site? What's this? Knife, smoke, punch, jab.
In the end, the sad truth is that esports careers typically have an expiry date. So seeing someone like Boaster enjoying every moment of the experience, regardless of the results, is simply refreshing. And honestly, after working his ass off for years to get himself into the spotlight, he's more than deserving of using it however he pleases.
Yeah, anyone that's stuck with me in this battle, we're gonna rise to the current. We're gonna rise to the moment. Oh my goodness, definition. Take down Susan. Ah! Go off.
So, in August 2020, he joined Sage Alt My Nan Football Club, aka SUMNFC, a team that... Sage Alt My Nan? Can Sage res people who died of natural causes? Is that possible? Is Sage like a freelancer who just reses old rich people for money? Is that what... I would never think to be like res my grandpa gaming. That's wild, dude. That's like such a good name. Holy shit.